Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So the following video is something that I recorded for the Be Not Afraid online conference that's been happening throughout the past few weeks, and I'm excited to share it with you guys here. Just wanted to give a little explanation of what that was. So a beautiful woman named Stacy, she has a podcast called and Caffeinated that is just so great. It's all about discernment, and within 5 days she had the inspiration and threw together this conference during such a crazy season. She just wanted to offer something good and helpful for people who were at home and maybe had some extra time on their hands and maybe were feeling a little bit extra anxious or nervous. And so she put together this conference with a whole bunch of awesome speakers, and I was honored to be asked to be part of it. And so yeah, just wanted to share with you guys the talk that I gave, and I hope that you guys find it helpful. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Enjoy the video. Hi everyone, my name is Melissa Tablata. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Hasn't this conference just been so beautiful? Oh my gosh, I have been looking forward to the emails every day and just loving what everybody has to say and to share with us. It's just so good and so needed during such an intense time in our lives and in our world. And so I am really excited to be here with you guys today. So a little bit about me. I live in Miami, Florida with my husband. We've been married about 2 years. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm also a Creighton fertility care practitioner intern and a soul core leader. So that is what I spend my time doing, among many other things. But I love working with couples and women, especially just speaking to the heart of who we are and how we were made to be as a Christian, as a Catholic, in relationships with one another. I'm super passionate about living healthy, holy relationships, especially within marriage. And today I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about how to look at this whole coronavirus situation from an emotional and mental health perspective. So I'm going to be speaking from something called cognitive behavioral therapy and sharing one of those techniques with you guys and walking you through how to use it for yourself in your own situation, the way that your mind is working right now, to help alleviate some of how you're feeling and to help move us in a more positive and healthy direction. Something called the ABC model from CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. This is something that I use a lot with my clients. It's very practical and so helpful to understand the way that our minds are working and how our feelings and our actions are so greatly dependent on the thoughts that we have. And so much of those thoughts go through our autopilot. They're happening without us even realizing. And if we're not aware of that, that can really have so much power and control over the way that we're living and the way that we feel. If it's steering us in a negative, unhealthy direction, we really want to bring light to that and understand what's going on so that we can start to have control over that part of our lives. Through this ABC model, we're going to look at how our reactions and our responses to certain events actually come through our belief system and our understanding and our interpretations, and how sometimes those beliefs that we have are totally illogical and unwarranted and just lies, but we don't even realize, and we respond to those beliefs always as if they're true. Our mind believes what we tell it, and if we don't know really what we're telling it and whether or not it's true or a lie, that has so much negative power over our well-being. Sometimes those beliefs are true, and sometimes they're false, and sometimes it's a mix of both. So we really have to look at what those beliefs are. Are they true? Are they false? Is there evidence to support those beliefs? And really understand where those reactions and feelings are coming from based on our beliefs. So what is ABC? So A stands for the activating event or the action. That's how you can remember A. This is the objective situation. So what is actually happening that we're reacting or having some kind of feeling about. B is the belief. What do we believe about that situation? How do we interpret that? What information are we telling ourselves about that situation? And then C is the consequence. So how do we respond? How do we react? How do we feel about everything that's going on in this scenario. So A, action, B, belief, C, consequence. The way that our minds work, we usually recognize the consequence in reaction or response to the event without realizing that there's a belief in the middle that's underlying and very, very important. We don't actually react to a neutral, objective situation, but what we're reacting to is the belief we have about that situation. The situation, think about if you react to a situation and then maybe your sister reacts to that situation, or your mom, or your spouse, or your best friend, and think about how different you would react to that same situation. That's kind of how you can start to understand it's based on those beliefs that we have about that situation. What does this event mean about me? What does it mean about my life? And those beliefs and interpretation form the reaction and feeling that we have on it. So our consequence for us personally is based on that belief, not on the situation. So we really have to know and understand what those beliefs are in order to understand what's happening in our lives. So much of the time we want to change our environment, we want to change our situation, and a lot of times it's out of our control. We can't change something happening around us. We can't change other people. The thing that we are in control of is our response and our reaction. But sometimes we just have automatic reactions because it's in our autopilot. It's happening so fast that we go from one event to one feeling and we don't even understand how we got that way. Have you ever felt like you've had a reaction to something and then you were like, oh my gosh, how did I have such a strong reaction to that? Or you're having a conversation with someone and you feel them or you see them reacting in a way to you that doesn't make any sense, because it happened so quickly that they had a belief about that event or that situation, and they're reacting to that belief because of something that they're interpreting that situation to be. So let's walk through a generic, unrelated example just to understand this and bring it to light a little bit more. So let's say the action, the situation is traffic. So traffic is the objective situation. There are a lot of cars on the road and it takes me a while to get to work and I have to sit in traffic. How I feel about that is frustrated, angry, annoyed, stressed, all of these emotions that I'm having in response to traffic. And I feel like I'm reacting to the traffic. There's traffic, so I feel annoyed. That's how we think usually. But what's happening is I have a belief in the middle about traffic, and that is leading me to feel all of these emotions. If I'm feeling angry, annoyed, frustrated, stressed about traffic, it's most likely that the belief or interpretation I have about traffic is that it's an inconvenience, it's in my way, it shouldn't be there, it's stopping me from living my life. And because I have those beliefs about traffic, it's leading me to feel this way. If I was a different person, I would have a different belief system about traffic, and that would lead to a whole different set of consequences. So let's say there's traffic, that's the A. The C is that I'm feeling great, I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling excited. If I was a person with those type of consequences and reactions to that same traffic situation, my beliefs might be that traffic is an opportunity. And that's honestly, for me personally, how I choose to see traffic and interpret traffic. It's an opportunity for me to listen to my favorite music, to catch up on my favorite podcasts, to call my family and talk to them when I might not have a chance otherwise. So I see it as an opportunity. I now have this time and I get to do something productive with it and do something that's good and helpful for me. There are so many other beliefs that we could have about traffic, and each one is gonna lead to a different response. But the point is that we're not reacting and responding to traffic, we're reacting and responding to that set of belief system in the center. Okay, now let's get a little bit more relevant to what's happening in all of our lives. So everyone in the world right now is going through this pandemic. COVID-19 is a situation. It's something happening in our world right now. If you think about what you've seen in the news, what you've seen within your family even, you would be able to pick out many different responses. The responses are not to the situation objectively. The responses are to the beliefs that we all hold about what this virus means for us, for our lives, for the world. If we can identify those beliefs, that will be one step in the right direction to understanding our emotional and mental health surrounding this whole situation and working towards something more positive and healthy and helpful for us. It's not that we want to deny our feelings or avoid them or push them away or just stop thinking about it, but understanding what our beliefs are and whether they are true or false or logical or illogical is really going to help us understand so much of where our mental and emotional space is. Take a moment to think about it. When you think about everything that's happening right now, this virus, the virus, COVID-19, that is the event, the situation. Think about how you're feeling. So what would be your consequence, your reaction, your response? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling panicked? Are you feeling calm? Are you feeling confused? How is it that you're feeling? How is it that you're responding and reacting to this event? And then take a moment to ask yourself, what do you believe about this virus, about COVID-19? Do you believe that it's going to ruin the world? Do you believe that you or your loved ones are going to pass away? What is it that you believe that you're reacting to? And know that you're not reacting to this situation. Think about how differently everyone is responding. Ask yourself, and we'll go into like what to do once we realize what our beliefs are. Number one is just awareness. We have to know what we're actually responding to in order to comprehend what's happening in our minds. I want to give you an even more specific example having to do with COVID-19. I was talking to a client recently, and she's in a very high risk job. And because of that, and because of everything we have going on, she had to make a really difficult decision to temporarily step away from her job and be home. And for her, that caused a lot of guilt and stress and feeling bad, like she was putting all of this extra pressure on her husband because she stopped working temporarily. And the thing was that stopping working temporarily due to this very real situation that's going on in our world was not what was leading her to feel guilty. Because think about, maybe one of you right now has stopped working temporarily, or maybe work looks different right now. You might feel differently. You might have a different consequence than she did. You might not feel guilt or shame or stress or pressure. But when we went back to look at what do you believe about stopping work temporarily? And along with that in her mind was not providing financially for her family, not contributing, not using the degree that she had. And what she believed about that was that if she wasn't using those skills that she has, if she wasn't working actively, if she wasn't providing financially, that meant that she was lazy and that she was selfish. And imagine if you believe that you're being lazy and selfish, you will probably feel some guilt about that. But then we looked at those beliefs and are those true? Is it true that because of COVID-19, because of what is going on in the health of our world right now, she had to make a really difficult decision. She prayed about it, she discerned with her family, and made a difficult decision to temporarily stop working? Does that mean that she's lazy and selfish? I don't think so. I think the evidence shows the opposite, that she's making a courageous decision for her family. She didn't take that decision lightly, and she prayed about it and thought about it and felt like this is what's best for my family due to the circumstances. And there are many other aspects of her particular situation. But the thing is that she felt just like, I feel stressed and I feel guilty because I had to stop working. But there was so much more to it. It was that she was carrying this belief that she was lazy and selfish because she had to temporarily stop working. And that actually wasn't true. So it was super helpful for her to see what that belief was in the middle. Now I want you to go through your own examples. So I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes. I'm gonna walk you through this step by step, and I'm gonna invite you to pause this video in between each step so you can actually do this along with me and start to understand your own ABC process. So step one, I want you guys to go and grab a journal or a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, and pause this video right now and then play it again once you get back with your supplies. Now you guys have something to write on and something to write with. So now I want you to turn that paper horizontally so that it's a little bit longer, and I want you to draw so that there's 3 columns. So you're gonna draw 2 lines, 3 columns, and write A, B, and C. And I'm gonna put up on the screen what mine looks like so you have an idea. I want you to draw that out and then hit play again. Okay, next, we're gonna focus on column A and column C first. So I want you to think about some kind of distressing feeling or emotion that you've been dealing with that you're like, I really wanna work on this. I really don't wanna feel this way anymore. So think about that, and what is the event that you've linked that to in your mind, and what is it that you've been feeling? So start with A and C and list out, and you can do a few or you can just focus on one at a time, and then you can go through and repeat this on your own. But what is the event and what is the consequence for you? How is it that it's leading you to feel? Pause this video and then come back once you've filled that in. Lastly, now we're gonna look at column B. So now you have your A filled out and your C filled out, and I want you to go back to the center and think about what belief do you have in column B about situation A that you've listed out that's leading you to feel C, your consequence. And just take some time to really ask yourself, what do you believe about this? Do you believe that if you don't have a job, you're a failure? Whatever the situation is, this goes for anything. So this is not just solely focused on the situation that our world is going through right now. This is for you and your daily life. We do this process. This is how our mind works. We do this all day, every day. And a lot of times it's helpful for us. It's helpful to have an autopilot, to know exactly how we feel about certain situations. But a lot of times it's not helpful for us, and it's actually pretty harmful for us. So it's really great to understand what belief do we have about these situations that's leading us to feel this way. And then we can go back in and look at those beliefs and really figure out, are they true? Are they a lie? And what's going on there? I am so proud of you guys for spending just a few minutes becoming so much more self-aware. The thing is, okay, so what do we do with all of this information? I just gave you all kinds of information about how our mind works and where your feelings and emotions and reactions are coming from. And so what do we do with all of this information? It might not seem like it, but just the simple awareness of the process that this is happening changes things. The simple fact of understanding and knowing that your emotional reaction or the way that you feel right now is due to this belief and not due to this situation changes things. If we don't know that belief is happening, our mind goes on this automatic thought spiral, and it happens without us even realizing until it's been 45 minutes or an hour and a half that we've been spending beating ourselves up and thinking poorly of ourselves and our lives or freaking out about some situation, and we didn't even realize, we didn't see the chain link of events that was happening. When we acknowledge and become aware of this belief part that's in the middle and that our reactions are actually to that belief, it stops that process from happening because it changes the way that we're engaged with our thoughts and our feelings. So the first thing is just simple awareness. Because you took the time to watch this video and because you're now going to be more aware of your beliefs, your thoughts, your interpretation of events, it's going to change things. The second part that's really important is challenging those beliefs. So once you see those beliefs, challenge them. If they're causing an issue for you, if you're feeling like this is creating negative emotions in me that are really difficult to deal with and I don't want them anymore, go back and look at those beliefs and challenge them. Where are they coming from? Are they true? Are they lies? Are they a mixture of truth and lies? Are they logical? Do they make sense? Would somebody else have that same belief and interpretation about that event? Look for evidence for those beliefs. So is there evidence to support this belief? Is there evidence to disprove this belief? The thing is, a lot of times it's a mixture of truth and lie. So for example, I was talking to a client and she felt just super overwhelmed. She was a doer and a go-getter, and she was always doing and doing for other people and doing for her family. And she felt alone and isolated and lonely. And her belief was that she had no help, that nobody was there to help her. And so many people feel that way. And the thing was that when we went in to challenge that belief, her support system did look different than it used to. So she felt like she had no help because the person that was usually there to help her was no longer there. But it didn't mean that she had no help. Her help just looked different. She still had the help of family members, the help of friends, and the help of other people in her lives. There was just one particular person who she didn't have the help of anymore, and that created this belief system that she had no help that led to all of these really difficult feelings and reactions. And so going in and challenging that belief was really helpful, because then it brings to light, my help looks different, but that doesn't mean that I have no help. And there's actually all of these beautiful people who want to help me and who are excited to help me and love me. As Christians, we have ultimate truth. So God tells us who He is, what He made us for, who we are, what our identity is. And so when we're confused about our beliefs, or when we're not sure if they're true or not, go back to scripture, go back to the church, go back to what God tells us to be true. Who is He? He is good. He loves us. He is always there. He will always be faithful. He will always follow through on His promises. What did He say about us? He made us with purpose. Our life has infinite value and worth. We are good. We are loved. We are cherished. And so if any of our beliefs don't align with those things, then they're a lie. And we have to really challenge those things and go back to the truth and understand, where did these lies come in and how did we come to believe them? And we really need to challenge them and understand the truth. I hope that you have found this video and information helpful. I hope that this helps you to unpack how you've been feeling, and maybe if you've been having some reactions that you feel are more extreme than usual, going back into your belief system and those underlying interpretations can be really, really helpful. So I hope that this helps you in your journey. Wherever you are right now, whatever you're struggling with, try this, apply it, and I would love to know how it works for you if you find it helpful. You can connect with me on Instagram. I'm Melissa Grace Tablata, at Melissa Grace Tablata, and also on YouTube at Melissa Grace Tablata. And I'll put my information in the slide as soon as this video is over. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the conference. This is such a gift. I am so glad you're here, and just know that I will be praying for you guys along the way. Have a great day.